So hollow, this JPMorgan trade still in the news. Jamie Dimon had two turns on Capitol Hill, the Senate and the House. What did you get out of that? Did anybody get anything out of those hearings? It seemed like a lot of infighting among Congress.
I think from the get-go we knew that not much new detail would come out of the two hearings. At the end of the day, it was another show like it was for Goldman, it was for Blankfein. The most important thing I think that came out of it was yesterday a little more heated debate between lawmakers and Dimon. Dimon said that his pay is in fact on the table for clawbacks. I think that was probably news because we hadn't heard that from him at all before.
And we also know that heads have already rolled. Ina Drew, who ran the CIO, which is where these losses came from.
Right.
You know, she's left. It's well understood that the London whale, if he hasn't left already, he'll be leaving the bank.
He's on the way out as well.
The other point I think that is interesting today is the reports that are out that say that JPMorgan rather has unwound the bulk of this trade. There was a lot of talk about how hard that would be. What's the story there?
He didn't mention any of that to lawmakers, and it came out, a day after the testimony was over. I think rightfully so. I think he owes those details to his shareholders, and they'll get them next month when JPMorgan reports second quarter earnings. Those are the people who are, have their vested interest there and his clients. So next month, July 14th, we'll see what really is going down with that trade.
Right, and it'll certainly be interesting to get the earnings from not only JPMorgan, but from the rest of these banks and find out what's going on with Europe and all that as well. I wonder, big picture, take this a little broader, and what does it mean from a regulatory standpoint? Jamie Dimon himself, when he announced this loss, said the timing could not have been worse as the Volcker rules being written, as all these new regulations are going into effect and being discussed and put into place. What's your big picture take on, is this a big win for stricter regulation of financial companies?
I think going into this, Jamie Dimon took a lot of heat for, being the anti-regulator and hating on the capital rules and calling them un-American, which he denied during the testimony. But at the end of the day, what really came out of this was the Volcker rule, and there was really no clarity at all. I mean, he's still confused. Lawmakers are still confused. They're asking him what he thinks the line should be, and he has no idea. The rule hasn't been written. If anything, this loss by JPMorgan just makes it more clear that it's really difficult to write a rule that makes a difference between prop trading and a simple hedge by a bank.